the best.
And you said the people should do what with their kids? They should do what?
They should start disciplining their kids more. If they have some type of discipline, kids actually like discipline. They respect you. They show you, just more respect. They're not going out here in the streets and doing any and everything because they know in the back of their head, my mother would not approve of this. My father would not approve of this. They have some type of structure. They have something to go back to. And it's just, y'all spoiling them by giving them everything they want. All these kids are tablet heads. That's all they know is phone, Facebook, YouTube, crying about snacks and everything that they want. I want this, I want that, the latest game, the latest shoes. Make them work for something. Make them do some chores around the house. Even if you don't even whoop your kids, that's fine. Still at least discipline them some way, shape, or form. They have to have some type of structure because if not, they out here in the world running wild. And we can see that based off of the generation that's in front of us now. Like the kids are just wild. Kids killing kids. They arguing over stupid stuff. Don't know how to let things go. It's just being disrespectful to the parents, being disrespectful to elders out in the streets. Like, I wasn't raised like that, and that's because the structure that was in my home. And it's like a lot of people needs to get back to the fundamentals. Like, stop giving these kids everything you didn't have. Like, yeah, I understand you want a better life for your kids, but it's a way to do that without spoiling them, without making them think what they do and say is right 24/7. Because 9 times out of 10, it's not right.
Right. So do you think the kids should have a cell phone at like 5 years old or 6 years old?
No, they need a book. Half these kids don't even know how to read. They go into the school system and get in trouble with the teachers because they afraid to read out loud in front of their kids and stuff, and they act out. And it's because at home, the parents are not taking out time with them because all they want to do is, here's a tablet, here's a phone, get out of my face. I don't want to be bothered. That's not how you deal with kids. If you didn't want a child, you shouldn't have had the child. You should have used proper protection so that way you don't have kids because now they don't know, what to do for real. So it's like they just lost out here. No. So I don't think kids need a phone or a tablet at that young of an age. They need to be reading.
But some people say that tablets are good for the children to have. What do you think on that? What's your take on that?
No. I mean, to a certain extent, it might be good if they're doing educational things. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to get sidetracked as a parent and stop monitoring what your kids do. And then they going to go off into YouTube. So it's like they watching YouTube videos of everything because some of everything is out on YouTube. So it's like, no, I don't think it's beneficial unless you're really monitoring your kid. And then even with that, they should be limited to the amount of time that they spend on the tablet. That's not good for their brain cells. I'm sure it's not.
Right.
So, no, I don't think it's beneficial.
I know that they say, according to healthcare industry, that children should only have like 2 hours on the tablet or the TV. I think it's 2 hours or maybe an hour and a half. Do you think that's sufficient enough time for the children to be on the TV or on the tablet?
Yeah, I think that's more than enough time because, we have to get them away from the tablets because they're losing their sense of creativity. Once they're out playing and doing whatever, kids come up with some of everything. Make them draw. Make them read some books. Make them color. Anything. Make them paint. They are kids can be very creative if we allow their creative juices to flow. But they're so stuck in front of the tablet and the TV, they're looking at other people be creative, and they don't even have no sense of creativity.
Now, what did you think about their personal skills based on them spending so much time in the tablets and the telephone?
They don't know how to communicate with people. That's for sure. They don't really know how to communicate. They always, I don't know, I guess they're shy and they just don't want to talk. It's like pulling teeth when talking to a child. And that's because they don't really know how to communicate because they're so stuck in their phones, so stuck in their tablets. And that's not good.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that this particular, as they call it, device has taken away not only their creativity, but their ability to actually break down or comprehend productive communication? Or
Yeah, I think it does. You know,
mm-hmm.
I think it takes away from that. That's all I really got to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just really don't agree with young kids having access to phones and tablets as much as they do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And also, you said something that was quite interesting when you said the children don't know how to read. Most of our children in school and the public school system are not at great level reading. What do you think the solution could be? I know that parents need to spend time with their children, but what else could be done to help them along the way? Now our children are going to be out of school for the rest of the summer, rest of the season. They won't go back, I guess, until like August, September, or whenever they go back to school. In that time, what do you think would be most beneficial for the children?
Really, just spending as much time with them as possible. Not necessarily making them read and do like educational stuff. I mean, that's good too. But just spending time with them, you know, let them know that they're smart despite what the school system is saying, because that hinders the child too. They're so focused on what their teacher's saying is, you know, their reading level is low, and kids begin to believe that, and then they shy away from reading because of the stereotype that we have already put on our kid. Oh, you're slow, or you can't read, or something like that. No, empower your kid. Let them know you're smart. You have to just take your time and read it word for word, so that way they can comprehend better whatever they're reading. You know, their reading skills will become better. You know, it's just about taking out time and actually empowering the kids, and take away all of those limiting beliefs that is put on them in the school system, because you're not with them 24/7. You never know what the teacher is saying to them, and you never know what their peers are saying to them. You know, because bullying is major in the school system. Really major. And if you can't read, that's one of the things that these kids pick on you about. You not being able to read.
Right.
So it's just about spending more time with them and letting them know that what other people say about you is false. It's a false perception. You just have to build their self-confidence up so that they feel comfortable with reading it out loud or anything like that. You know, being comfortable with just being themselves.
Right. Yeah, I feel that the children, when they go back to school, they will struggle because now they're out of school. You know, sometimes when kids are out of school for the summertime, they lose exactly what they learned for like over the year or whatever. And then they said the teachers basically spending time to recharge them and get them back on course. I know you said reading is not that they should be doing it all the time, but how many hours of the day, since they're out of school, would you suggest that they be reading?
Well, in my opinion, half the day. Y'all don't want these kids in y'all face anyway. Make them read a book. You know, give them 4 or 5 books and make them write summaries about what they read. You know, so you can see if they're comprehending what they read.
But should the parents also sit by them to see how well they're reading?
Yeah, that too. You could take at least an hour or 2 out with your child anyway. You know, just to see their reading levels, see if they're comprehending, going over words that they don't understand, things of that sort. Have them write out the words that they don't understand, you know, and go over them later. It's all about really spending time with the child, you know, in my opinion.
Okay.
So half the day, in my opinion, at least 5 hours. You know, they stay in school for 8 hours anyway.
Right.
So they might as well read for 5 hours or do some type of educational work within that time.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. That sounds good. Well, Jayla, I really thank you for taking out the time to come on UTV with us today and talk about our children, our generation, and what we expect for our children. Our African American community needs to be built up. Our parents need to be empowered. We have to continue the faith and believe that our children will do well and they will excel. And we have to continue to encourage this generation despite what is going on in the world today. And I know that there's a curriculum out for the parents to possibly purchase a school curriculum online. Do you think that the parents should invest? I know money is maybe tight and maybe a couple of family members can get together and purchase the kid or whatever, and then they can share in the educational piece for their children. What do you think about that?
I think that would be really beneficial for the kids. I don't say think of it from a money standpoint. Think of it as you're invested in your kids' future, invested in your kids' education. This will be very beneficial to break a lot of generational curses, to stop so many of those limiting beliefs and stereotypes that we have on the African American community. We just have to, take the proper steps to helping our kids. There's tools out there. We just have to utilize them. Y'all bad shoes, $200 shoes anyways. It ain't in hair and nails and all this flashy stuff. Just invest in your kids. Invest in their future. Put some money to the side if you don't got it right now. Just put a little bit to the side out of each check, and then you can just purchase it that way. If money is just a thing, it's all about, us doing what we have to do for our kids and for our youth, because they are the future.
Yes, they are. They're definitely our future. We have to pour in this. I believe this is the time that we can pour into them as much knowledge as we know to pour into them, so that they can become better individuals, better socially with other people. They can learn how to communicate better, and know how to share. I think our generation don't know how to share, and I think because they don't know how to share, they tend to get upset, and then they get bullied, and they bully other kids because the low self-esteem or things that's going on in the home. But if we can get to the root of the matter, I think we can rise up as a people that's more powerful and more united than ever before. And what do you think about that?
I agree 100%, because we are a very powerful people. It's just about us, empowering our kids and taking them into the right direction, leading them into the right direction, so that they can be confident in their abilities, whatever it is, whatever it may be. It's just all about us coming together and being united and really doing what we have to do to empower our youth.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks again, Jayla, for your input on today's youth on UTV. Thank you.